Yeah, trust me, I know. Watching the last preseason game tomorrow is going to be like watching paint dry. Half the people probably won't even watch it, but trust me, this is more important than you think.
We better do it. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. A fantastic day with one more preseason game left. And then an exciting weekend is about to happen, guys. As much as people aren't excited about it, I love it because this is when you have your last preseason game. We talk about who does well, who doesn't do well. And then you go into Sunday, Monday, where the Eagles are going to start to make really tough cuts. This is it. You're going from 80 to 53. Boom, done. It's over with. Eagles go through the waiver wire and they try to sign some gems that other teams are going to have some really hard decisions to make when it comes to some of these cuts. For the Eagles, I don't know how many tough ones they're going to be, but I want to talk about some players. This is excluding draft picks. This is excluding starters. I want to talk about just the players that are kind of rising up. I just spit everywhere, so sorry. The players that are kind of just rising up through this roster and are really making a big push to maybe do some things here. Maybe players that were very quiet beginning of training camp and then kind of rose up by the end or to the middle to the end and really just, wow, like you didn't expect it to happen. There's always those players. It always happens. There could be guys that are doing well right now that might not do anything this season, might not even hit the field. Who knows? But we definitely have to talk about these guys. And I've already made my 53-man roster already, and this is excluding trades and stuff like that. So this one's a tough one for me until some moves get made, but we'll definitely go over that later. But this is what I have to talk about. Number one on my list, okay, I think he's been fantastic. And that Browns game, I think the Jets game caught a couple catches. The Browns game, he was like 5-6 catches for 66 yards. I mean, Deon Cain was just amazing. I mean, we picked up Deon Cain last year, and, he was just on the roster. But I really think that Deon Cain could be the number 5 receiver for us. And this is with Jalen Reagor stuff, all that crap that's happening right now. Is he going to get traded? Whatever the case may be with that, which in my gut feeling says he's going to be traded, that the Eagles are trying to either trade for a player or whatnot. We already made a video on all that, so you could definitely check that out. But with all that going on, I thought Deon Cain used the frame of his body, can get 50-50 catches. I think the one thing I could say, he made some really tough catches. Okay, even though Reagor is given certain opportunities during these couple games, okay, which I thought he would have a lot more reps, but he really didn't. And it kind of was like, he looked bad on special teams. He was only given when he was given a couple catches, but I didn't see much of a difference. It's nice just to see a player that you don't really think of that, I didn't think Deon Cain was going to, have a good game. I didn't think that whatsoever. But he caught some tough catches, back shoulder, using the upper body of his to get those 50-50 contested catches. I thought, the toe drag on the right sideline, I thought he played he played with fire. He really did. And you know what? Even in the Jets game when he dropped the pass, he just got better as the days went on throughout, preseason, throughout the scrimmages. I thought he got better. And then getting to that Browns game, I thought he was fantastic. I thought he had a fantastic, solid day. And I thought to myself, holy crap, this guy might be able to beat Jalen Reagor. If the Eagles think that there's nothing, and I'm not saying that, Deon Cain is going to be anything special or he's going to get some playing time, but who knows? You never know what could happen. Maybe Deon Cain goes in for a game, maybe a couple receivers, are going to be out for one game and you need Deon Cain thrown in there, with some starting lineup, guys to kind of get his chance a little bit, see what he does with the first team. You never know when these guys get their opportunity. Zach Pascal was another guy that got his opportunity from the Colts. He was like a number 3, number 4 receiver. He was a number 4 receiver, went to a 3, went to a 2 and a 1 between the 2 years he was there. He kind of took over everything. And had opportunities and took advantage of it. And I think Deon Cain is a guy that's just taking advantage of every snap that he gets or every ball that's thrown towards his way. And I thought he was great. I thought he was fine. Definitely one of my favorites. Probably my favorite of some of the guys that are really rising up that could make this roster. And like I said, the Jalen Reagor stuff is up in the air. Really, it depends on what they do with Jalen Reagor. And I hope I think they're trying to get some good compensation. I think they're trying to trade for a player in the process, or at least they're going to try to, if that's going to be the case. But we'll find out when the time comes. Second player I've been really interested in is Josh Jobe. I mean, undrafted, obviously, from Alabama, got hurt last December, didn't play in the SEC championship game. So, this was a guy that, he's playing from a good school, cornerback, and has been playing really well. I thought Josh Jobe, and look, I'm not saying that, I thought Josh Jobe was behind McPherson. I thought that Jets game, they were both, they're both getting, the Jets had two good receivers they had to face. So, they were struggling a little bit. I thought Jobe struggled a little bit. I thought McPherson struggled. And I thought that Jobe really started to rise up a little bit more than McPherson. I thought he just started to play better. And then going to that Browns game, I always around the football, great tackling in the backfield. I think, he had a couple tackles for loss. I think his tackling is definitely A+. His coverage, I'm not saying that this guy's going to be the number 2 corner of the future. I'm not even saying that, but I think Josh Jobe definitely deserves a roster spot. I think he's actually better than what we've had in the past, like Craig James and some of these other guys that we've had off the street. And Jobe, who knows down the road what he could be. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying he's our future number 2 or something like that. I mean, from this corner group going in, I worry about the back end of this corner group, because if Slayer Bradbury goes down, even Maddox, what do you do here? Because really McPherson kind of was the talk a little bit, and then he went down, and then Jobe started getting talked a little bit more. Then Jobe just started playing better. Jobe was playing with the second defense. He moved up. He was on third. He moved to second. It was great. So then McPherson and Jobe were pretty much the starting corners on the second team defense, which is awesome. So, as much as we talk about safety being a weakness, the back end of corner is weakness. We don't really have great depth at corner. If Bradbury gets hurt, are you really trusting, and like I said, I'm not going to put too much on Josh Jobe as a rookie this year, an undrafted rookie this year, just because I don't expect him to do that much in his rookie year, and you don't put that much on someone's plate. But hell, if you have to throw him in the fire, throw him in the fire. I mean, that's the only way these guys are going to learn. And sometimes they learn the hard way. Sometimes they have to get through those really big mental blocks, when they, don't do well during games, and they get better every single week. So I thought Josh Jobe has been the rising cornerback out of all the guys. If I would say it was probably, if I would have to say, it would probably be Jobe. It'd probably be, McPherson behind him, and probably Gowan probably behind that. You know what I mean? So I think that there's something there with him. I think he just needs more time. And like I said, not putting too much on his plate, but I thought he's always around the football, always getting his hands on the football. And always making tackles, has been, doing well, getting off blocks. I thought, there was a few clips I saw. I was actually really impressed with him. So, I know a lot of guys are big Alabama fans that probably know him better than I do. And what he did at Alabama, and a lot of guys said, watch out for Josh Jobe, because in a couple years he could be something. So who knows what you have here, but Josh Jobe definitely has impressed me a lot. And I think lastly, what I really, kind of interested in, which I had no faith in that it was really even going to happen, was Reed Blankenship, another undrafted guy at safety. And I don't know, safety's a big weakness on this team. Marcus Epps being a solid safety. Anthony Harris we brought back because of the familiarity of I can't say that word right, so excuse me. But, Anthony Harris as a veteran coming in just because he knows the defense, he knows the players, and I felt like it was a panic move to re-sign him just because Rodney McLeod, has been hurt too much, and obviously he's been playing pretty good with the Colts right now in the offseason, but they didn't want to re-sign him back because he's been injured way too much. Okay, and then you have Tart, and there's only so much you have behind there. Tart, it was with like the third defense, and he really hasn't done much. He missed a lot of time in the beginning. He made that big hit in that Browns. He made that big hit in that Browns game, which was cool. But is he doing enough even to make this roster? Maybe Reed Blankenship, becomes the number 4 safety or something like that. They could keep 4 guys. You never know what they could do. Kevon Wallace, as between the second joint practice with the Browns and then the Browns preseason game, I thought Kevon Wallace played pretty solid, and a couple deflections and I think 1 tackle for loss. I think he played pretty good, and he's a special teamer as well, so you'll see him there. But Reed has always just been in the mix, and not that he's making tackles after a receiver or tight end runs 20, 30 yards, not those type of tackles. he was making defining tackles. He was making tackles, a couple yards, maybe the running back gets a couple yards, the receiver on the screen pass. Like, he's been productive. I've always seen him just run in there and tackle, run in there and make tackles. He has been making tackles as a safety, and he's a really good special teamer too. So, Reed is a hard hitter as well. He's very physical. You know what I mean? So this was a player that I didn't think was going to do much of anything. I didn't know where the safety room was going to go. I mean, we were looking at so many safeties at this, from the first day of free agency, missing out on Marcus Williams. I totally get it. We missed out on a couple safeties we tried to sign. But, if you sign Marcus Williams, you probably wouldn't have A.J. Brown right now. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to balance it out of what the Eagles were, what they were going to do, which would have been interesting. But I thought Reed was very productive. I had no problem with Reed Blankenship whatsoever, and I think he's only going to get better. So this could be a guy that maybe is your number 5 safety, depending on what they do with him. I mean, they could, depending. Really, it just depends. If they're keeping Tart being, obviously, I don't know if he's done enough. I think Reed Blankenship has done a lot more. Just what I've seen with the eye test of what I've seen, I just seen him do more than what Tart has. Because like I said, Tart missed a lot of time in the beginning because of the personal issues and stuff like that. So I got confused before with the 4th or 5th safety because I was thinking about Tart making this team, and I don't think he is going to make this team. He might not. I don't know if he's going to. I believe he's not going to. That's just me. Everyone has their own opinion about it. But really, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, I figured those 3 doing fantastic. Hopefully we see a little bit more. I was a big Grant Calcaterra fan coming out of SMU. So I was really excited to see him and Jalen back together again and, kind of reminiscing a little bit and, getting these targets. And I understand he missed a lot of time with a hamstring injury. That was for pretty much missing since July 30th. He was out. And he just got back a few days ago, last week. I mean, not it hasn't been long whatsoever. So it's been really tough. Some players you don't expect to kind of move up this roster a little bit. So it's going to be interesting. Let me know what you guys think. Or, are you interested? These 3 players, have they interested you? Or is there other players that have interested you a little bit more? You guys let me know in the comment section below. I understand we could probably talk about guys like Jason Huntley and stuff like that. He's done obviously very well. I just don't know if the Eagles are going to keep him just because of are they going to keep another guy like Boston Scott as number? I don't know if they're keeping 4 running back. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. This weekend is going to be nuts. Preseason game tomorrow, and then obviously the cuts. Waiver wire, Howie's going to watch out for this waiver wire, see what players are starting to go through the waiver wire. Maybe we can add a gem, and that's what I'm hoping. So you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD. Follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.